So this is a technical video which is designed to show how to use live action reference for animation. And what I'm going to be demonstrating here is a very specific technique that makes it very, very easy to find live action reference and import it into Maya. So what we're going to do first of all is have a look at a character throwing a ball. That's this week's project, is to animate a character throwing a ball. And so the first thing to do is to go and find ourselves some reference. So I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to go and look for a baseball pitch. Search and see what comes up. And here's a link to a video which I've actually looked at before.
Hi, my name's Mike Lumley.
I'm just going to turn the volume down here. And this is a chap called Mike Lumley who is demonstrating how to throw a baseball. And what I'm going to do is actually go to a great little website called www.keepvid.com. There it is, it's coming up right away. And KeepVid is a really, really useful way of saving video from YouTube. So I'm going to copy the URL from this baseball pitch into the KeepVid window. Control V, paste that in there. And I'm now going to click download. And what that will do is, yes, once I've accepted all the various nonsense, it will allow me to download it in different formats. And what we want here is the MP4. So I'm going to download this as an MP4. So I'm going to save that to my desktop, and it's now saving it. And I'm just going to minimize this now and go and find that that video on my desktop. So now I've got the video saved on my desktop as an MP4, and I've opened it up with QuickTime. And what we've got here is this baseball player who is showing us how to do a baseball pitch. Now, the video is actually rather long, and we don't want the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is just go to the bit that we actually want, which is this guy actually making his moves and taking the pitch. And here it is. Okay, so he's just going to take a little step there. So I'm just going to take from there, from where he takes a step. There we go. I'll just take it from this bit here. And then let's take it from the bit where he takes a step and then takes a couple of steps back. Okay, go to Edit, Trim to Selection. Now this is QuickTime Pro I've got here. You can't do this in normal QuickTime, but I highly recommend QuickTime Pro. It's a really great little piece of software and it only costs $30, and it's really, really useful for doing basic editing. And it also allows you to do very useful things like, for example, export things as a WAV file. So I can go to Export and save a file type as, for example, an AIFF or a WAV or whatever. It's very, very useful for file converting. Anyway, I think there are free options as well. So, and indeed, you can do these things online now at various sites. But so now we've got our baseball pitch. So I'm just going to go ahead and save that. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. So let's go ahead and save that as baseball pitch 1. And now the next thing I'm going to need to do, and I cannot do it in Maya and I cannot do it in QuickTime, I need to convert this into a series of TIFFs. In other words, I need to convert this movie file into a series of still images. And in order to do that, I need a piece of software which I actually don't have on my desktop here, called Adobe After Effects. And I'm sure you're familiar with it. It's very commonly used, a very powerful piece of software. And what I think, and it's the only piece of software that I know of that allows you to convert a movie file into a series of still images. So what I suggest, if you don't have a copy of After Effects, try and get one. And you can always, if you need to, use the 30-day license. Sign up for the 30-day license and open it up. And what you do is you open up After Effects, you drag and drop your QuickTime into After Effects, and then you go to File, Export, and you export it as a still image, as a series of still images. And once you've done that, you will end up with a file or a folder full of still images. So I'm going to go and find that on my desktop now. So here's my folder. It's called Pitch, and you can see here that it's got all these TIFFs in it. And if I go to medium icons, you can see that these TIFFs are in fact the series of images created from this baseball player. Now what we need to do next is to drop these images in the work folder that we're actually going to be working in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these, and I'm going to, actually what I'll do is I'll just select the entire folder. That's probably the easiest thing. So if I so what I've basically done is I've copied that particular folder, and I'm now going to paste it in my documents folder. Actually, before we do that, we need to I need to set a project. So I'm going to go to File, Project Window, New, and I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to call this Live Action Reference, because that's what we're going to be doing. Click Accept, and now I'm going to set to that project. Project set, and there it is, Live Action Reference, and let's set to that. And now I need to go and find that folder. So that's going to be in my Documents folder in Maya, Projects, and there it is, Live Action Reference. We've just created it. So I go into that, go into my Source Images folder, and I'm now going to Control-V paste all of those images that I have just created. And there's quite a lot of them, so it'll probably, there we go, 125 megabytes worth of images. So it's going to take a while to paste all of those images. So there it is. There we have it, Pitch. And if I open that up, that should have all of those images that we've just created. So what I can do is import those images into the shot, and I will show you in a minute how to do that. Now the first thing we want to do, now that we've done that, is to create a polygon plane. So I'm going to go to Create, Polygon Primitives, Plane, open up my options box. I want a width of 100 and a height of 100. Go ahead and create a plane like that. I'm going to go to 6 on my keyboard, so we go to textured mode. And now I need to move this thing into place. So now I'm in rotate. I want to be in the rotate tool, and holding down the J key with my left hand, I'm going to rotate this into position. Now I go back to the move tool, and I'm just going to move that into place. It doesn't need to be particularly exact. I'm holding down the shift key though, so it stays in alignment. So now I've got a polygon plane, and I'm going to go into the outliner. That's Window Outliner, and I'm going to double click on that, and I'm going to call this Ref Plane, because that's what I'm going to use it for. I'm going to use it for reference. Close out the outliner, and now I'm going to assign a material to this polygon plane. So I'm going to right click on it, go to Assign Favorite Material Blin. So we've created a blin, and I'm going to find that blin there, and I'm going to double click on it, oops, or just rename it here, I can do that, and we're going to call this Ref Plane Material, because that's what it is. It's the material attached to the reference plane. Hit enter, and now actually before I do anything else, I'm going to save this. So let's go to File, Save Scene As, Live Action Ref _ V001. So I'm just going to save that, and actually I'm just going to stop here, and in the next video I'll show you how to import those images onto this plane so that you can actually match up your animation to the reference material that we've just generated.